Hey friends, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're thriving, and I hope you are finding solace and balance in these times. What we're about to do is jump into a few brainstorming sessions that I do with people. I give people these free 15-minute brainstorming sessions. If you know someone that wants help building their dream business, helping them make money from home, helping them make money online, helping them turn their idea or their passion into a business or even into a passion project that they want to do for fun, then feel free to have them text me at 310-807-1998. That's 310-807-1998. Check it out. I hope you enjoy. Copy the link, text it to your friends, and let them know. And I'd love to help anyone out who is a motivated, driven individual that wants to make a difference in the world. Here's the interview. Hope you enjoy. Cassandra.
Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm so good, and I'm so grateful for this time with you. And I know that it's short, so I want to use it well. So I'm just gonna jump to the point, which is I want to build regenerative communities, and I have a vision of traveling to various experts in regenerative community design or regenerative system design. So think regenerative energy systems, so energy systems that literally reproduce themselves. It exists, the technology's there, people can do it. And I have some friends in Hawaii at a regenerative community doing it that I want to fly out to and go see and turn into content, in the coming 6 to 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so regenerative energy systems, water systems, that type of thing. And so I want to figure out how do I, fund this vision essentially. And one avenue I'm doing is creating my own life coaching and yoga therapy business. And in that way, doing some of my own self-development and self-empowerment, meanwhile getting to develop myself as an entrepreneur and create some extra income that way. But then also looking at, maybe potentially securing some funders that are passionate about this type of thing.
Cool, awesome. So just in recap to make sure I understand, you want to actually do kind of like a tour creating content by going around and interviewing all these people that know how to do regenerative communities, right?
And it's not like a short-term flash tour. Like I might be going to a regenerative community and living there for a while and really capturing lots of content. Like we're building the regenerative system and then turning it into online courses that teach people how to build their own regenerative energy systems, regenerative water systems, etc.
Great, great. And your question is most about how can you basically sustain this? How can you fund it specifically? Yep.
Yes.
Okay, great. Especially right now, there's a lot of grants, a lot of opportunities. I think reaching out to the SBA, Small Business Alliance, just in your city, and just focusing on a city organization, right? And that is one option that you can go for. Okay. Now I know that you said finding people who are really passionate about this, and you can do that too. But the good news is whether you go to the SBA and try to find like a specific style of government grant or something like that, or going to an individual who has money, both of those things require the same work up front. And that work is just simply you putting together a basic presentation of what you're doing, and if you're looking to get money for a business, what the revenue model is, all the different areas of that plan, right? So what you can do right now is you can actually imagine that you have the money you need and just start creating a budget of what you need, right? So it's like this much money for travel, this much money for, equipment. Do I need to hire anybody? Do I need to create anything on the internet, a web page, whatever? And just imagine that you already have the money that you need and start building out that shopping list of everything you need to buy, right? So once you do that, you have this list, you're like, cool, here's everything I need to buy. Then you put that into a presentation that you're going to submit, right? And once you have that, and then there are going to be a few other areas that you're going to need on there too. And I'm not going to be able to break down every single page, but basically you're going to want to have a page that gets everybody really excited, like an elevator pitch. This is what I'm doing. This is who I am. And then once you get together this whole presentation, then you can reach out to people in your network. My favorite way to do that is scrolling down my contact list, my social media feeds, and just intuitively circling or writing down names of people who you think might know somebody. If you're going to go the investor route of someone who is really excited about putting money into this, and then just slowly but surely start going through your network and telling everyone you know about what it is that you're looking to do, and if they know anyone that might be able to connect you with the right people. That's just one side, right? That's just the, if you're looking for an investor side. And so that would look like reaching out to people, not spamming everybody and saying, hey, do you know anybody? But just reaching out to people and saying, hey, how have you been? How are you doing? And these are the people that are really resourceful in your network, that are really successful, that whatever that means, whether that be they have a big network in one specific field, or they're really financially successful, or whatever that looks like. And getting a list going one person at a time, just picking away at that list. On the other side, though, because of what's going on right now, I think it might be really valuable to really dig into the government grants and the SBA loans, and not loans, but grants. Some of the SBA loans are actually grants, and really taking advantage of that, because there's so much money available right now for small businesses and helping them thrive. And there's no reason why not to take advantage of that. The main secret for that is just not wasting your time doing like internet submissions, and making sure it's with someone on the phone, preferably in Seattle, in Washington, and finding a way to leverage some sort of existing grant. Some might be for minorities, some might be for underprivileged people, some might be for women, some might be for whatever that thing is, and just leveraging whatever that is, whether it be you or the people you're serving, and just making sure that whatever it is that you do, all these things, I know I'm just like throwing a bunch of things at you that need to be done, but just deciding that you're going to say, okay, I'm going to commit to being consistent. I'm going to commit to sticking to this project, and I'm going to commit to creating a list, a checklist of all the things that I'm going to accomplish, and making sure that I accomplish one a week, one major thing a week. Because otherwise it's like, it can get overwhelming, and it's like, what do I do first? What do I focus on? And that's one thing I've learned recently is, it's like, yes, you can have 20 things that you want to do in a week, but if you just have one thing that you're like, I am committing to finishing this week, and I have the next 4 weeks planned out on what I'm going to do. I have it right over here. I have a weekly calendar on my wall, and I just write one thing down that I'm going to do every week. And as long as you just accomplish that one thing, then you're moving forward, and not having that horrible feeling when you look at your goals from 3 years ago on New Year's and you realize you didn't accomplish them, right?
Yeah. Definitely. That's awesome.
So what do you feel like, what really resonates with you with anything that I just kind of like hurled out at you right there?
In particular, envisioning that I have the funds now, and getting that clarity, because I think that's so powerful. That just like, that puts it out into that clarity is like, when going to funders or grant people like that, that is what gets projects funded. And then even before any of those steps, like just that visioning process creates so much empowerment, and excitement, and clarity around what's needed.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like anything's holding you back outside of having the finances to do it?
Well, kind of similar to what I checked in with you on about a year ago, which is taking on too many projects. And in some ways right now it connects to the finances, because I took on an extra project in order to support myself currently. Yeah. So that's like the main thing, is like figuring out how to balance multiple projects without getting scattered and overwhelmed and letting that lose momentum, which so far I'm feeling really good. I've had a lot of momentum the last several months. I've made big changes in my life, and so that's just like, it's almost like that's built the confidence I need to like take the daily action. That's totally happening.
Awesome. That's great. So you feel really confident about moving out of the place where you're taking on too many projects. It's probably still in your DNA like it is for me, but just you feel more focused now?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, but you still brought it up, so I just want to make sure, like how much of that is still real in your life right now versus being overcome?
Right. Well, I feel like I was doing better, and then I recently took on a few things in order to for the financial support. So that's where I feel like, but it is doable. So I think it's moving through.
Did we talk about the whole 3-day-a-week club concept?
A little bit, yeah. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's just a funny name that I came up with for finding a stable, reliable job that pays you a full-time income working 3 days a week or 4 days a week. And that way it's like one source of income. Preferably it's something that you're learning something from, something valuable from. And that way you're focusing the other half of your life on your passions and you don't have to worry about money. Because I think a huge problem with the way that, the economy is set up and the way that everything's set up is that you it's like a hamster wheel situation where you're spending the majority of your life working for something else that's not your mission or your passion. And maybe if you're lucky, it's something that you are passionate about, but you don't have enough time for you. 2 days out of 7 isn't quite enough, right? And so if people can find something or even just put it out there into the universe and just like start telling everyone, hey, I'm doing this amazing project. Also, I'm looking for a 3-day-a-week thing that pays at least this much money, telling every single person, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I'm looking for. And then all these people are out there in the world. And if they happen to see something, they go, oh, I know someone that's looking for that. And next thing you know, it pops up in your life and in your reality. And you have this cool, amazing, opportunity, and you get to spend the rest of your time doing your thing. And don't let that distract you and become like another project necessarily, but it could put you in a position where it's not like I have to take this other thing on and this other thing on. I recently got an opportunity to work with someone that a few years ago, and even now, I'm like, oh my God, I would love to do this, but because I have my passion project and my stable income, it's like I can't afford the time to do it. And I think that's a win. Even though it sucks that I can't do this amazing project, it's a win because if we put ourselves in a position where we have stable income that takes a certain amount of time out of our week, and then we get all this other time for our passion, and we're really filling that up with stuff we love doing, then that's when you win. And so I would love to see, and I don't know what your situation is for, what you're doing for income, but it sounds like it's more than one job or one project or one gig. And so even just having the intention of saying, I'm going to, over time, solidify that into 3 days out of my life, making the same amount of money or more, just from like an energetic standpoint, and then turning that into reality, that could be really powerful too.
Cool. I will get on that. That sounds great. I was working on that, and the job that I took on, they don't have the finances to now pay me for the work. So I'm like kind of still continuing the project because there's potential to like get paid for, teaching yoga and various classes and workshops that would feed my business. So it's happening. It's working.
Got it. Cool. Yeah. I feel that that's an issue that a lot of people have. And it's like, you have all these projects and then there's not enough money there. But over time, I feel like it's going to start to coalesce into like, in the beginning, you say yes to everything. And then as you get more momentum, you have to say no to everything, right? And so I see that happening with you where it's like, in the beginning, even before we connected, you're probably like, yes, I'll take that on, I'll take that on, I'll take that on, I'll take that on. And then as you really start gaining momentum, you're like, I can't take that on. You got to start learning how to say no. And I can't take that on, I can't take that on. And it starts to build.
Totally. Feel like I've been doing that.
Yeah, totally. So what do you think, I know that you said that the thing that resonates with you is imagining you have the money. Do you think that something you could do in the next 7 days would be create that shopping list?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay. Let's create three things, one for each week for the next 3 weeks. So this week would be a shopping list. Maybe the following week could be, I don't know, finding a few. Are you feeling more called to going for grants or going for an investor?
More clarity on getting clear on the vision itself, getting it written up itself, and then being able to go with, either or, being able to reach out to both. So I think getting clear on the vision itself.
Great. Okay. So yeah, writing that page where it's just kind of like an elevator pitch of this is what's happening, this is who it's going to impact, all the different things that you would share if someone were to ask you about it in 30 seconds to a minute. That could definitely be something. And then feel free to, reach out to me if you need help with kind of organizing that. And I'd love to help any way I can. So week 1 is getting really clear on what that shopping list is. Week number 2 is getting clear on the vision. And then the 3rd week, do you want to go that far? Or do you just want to focus on those 2 or?
Yeah, I want to go that far. If I get clear on the vision, I have the shopping list. No, actually, I do want to stop there. I feel like that feels
Okay.
Because after that, that's kind of like, then that's like, I guess that's the decision point of now do I take my time to look towards grant funding or to look towards funders?
Yeah.
Do you have tips on like criteria that can guide that decision process for which is more valuable?
Absolutely. So if you are going for an investor, then what you're doing is you're dealing with someone who could probably give you a lot more money, but you're dealing with a personality, right? So if you've ever, everybody has either moved in with someone, started a business with someone, dated someone, whatever the situation is, and they thought in the beginning it was great, but then it turned out to be not as great. So there, you do run that risk, right? So it's a higher potential return financially, but you're also having to deal with the person. But there are also things that you can put into the contract, like no creative control, things of that nature. And also there's a potential where people could back out, right? So that there's more volatility, but there's also more potential for a high amount of money. So if you were going to like build a tech company, I wouldn't say get a government grant. You need, a few $1,000,000 or a few $100,000. But for a grant, it's like, once you get it, there's no one you have to deal with. It's just like you do it, and you might have to submit a few pieces of paperwork, but it's pretty much yours and you do as you please with it. But the downside to it is you can't get as much money in most cases. There are other downsides to grants too, but I think a lot of those get overcome by going to a local location and speaking to a real person. Because a lot of these people, they have really they're beautiful people. They have like hearts of gold, because who goes into the field of helping people get money to start their dreams, right? These are going to be amazing people. And so if, yes, we're, in quarantine right now, so you can't go walk in and shake people's hand and give people hugs, but you can kind of do the same thing on the phone by saying, hey, can you help me? It's not like, that's what people's perception is. And it's actually true. But in my opinion, the wrong way to go about it is just go on the internet and just be another application among another 1,000 applications, as opposed to connecting with a human and saying, can you help me figure out how to do this the right way? And then from there, you're golden. And the only other part of it that's really important is having the right presentation. And, I can connect you with that. That's a part of my, I have that in my course, but like I can show you some of those, some of those breakdowns of the little sheets that I give people. And so once you have it and you're like, here's the best I can do, then I can show you some of those and say, hey, maybe, fit that into this template, and then it'll make it a little bit better.
Nice. Cool. Cool. That's awesome.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I hope that was helpful.
Yes, very much so. Very powerful. What's the opportunity to continue working with you look like? How are you, your support system set up?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I'm trying to keep these very non-salesy and just add as much value as possible. So basically what I'm doing is I'm giving out my phone number to everyone on social media. It's a text-only number. And then I'm doing consultations with some people. And then I'm taking that and I'm showing that to people so that they can see the value there. And then I also have my online course, Dream University, which is just a bunch of videos and a bunch of downloads so that they can, get clarity on what they're doing with their lives, their vision of their dream business, their idea, their passion, their focus. Then after they get fully clear on what that thing is and what that looks like, getting money to start it, which is what we talked about today, and then building it and me actually helping them build it. And I just had that. But then during COVID and everything, I was like, you know what? I don't feel comfortable just selling that right now. And so how can I really add value to people for free and just really help? And that's why I started doing these video calls for people for free. But then I realized if I showed you my text platform, because I'm running ads, not because I'm cool or anything, but I have all these people that are reaching out to me, and it's just like I can't do 15-minute coaching calls with everybody, right? So what I did last week is I set up a page where people could jump on group coaching calls where I do multiple hours per month, And that's a paid feature. I'm doing a month free for that too, but that's nathen.tv/coaching. So that's a new thing that I'm doing in the last week. It's pretty fun.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's exciting.
Thanks for asking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Well, I so appreciate your time. And yes, this is incredibly valuable just to have someone who's like so encouraging on the other end of like, you can do it, and you can reach out to people in these ways. And it's like I have many of these puzzle pieces, but you put them together in a much clearer puzzle. So I really appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you. You're like an expression of like what I think entrepreneurship is, which is just like having all these things that you want to do and being so motivated and driven to do them all. And it's really an expression of a portion of that for me, because I do it too, where it's like, so many projects, don't know which one to do, and then like slowly but surely being like, no, I'm zoning it in, I'm figuring it out. No, I have to, take these things out and make it more simple, but at the same time not forget about all these important aspects so that they can come in later. And I really just value that about you, and hope that you keep pushing. I mean, I know you'll keep pushing. So
Thank you. Awesome. I appreciate that.
Cassandra, well, keep me updated. Let me know how it goes, and just give me a shout if you need anything.
All right. Sounds good. Likewise.
All right. You will.
And may we reunite after quarantine.
Yes. All right. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks so much for checking out this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot of value from it. And if you know someone who maybe needs their day brightened up, or someone who's just motivated and driven and wants to make a difference, or needs more advice, or whatever it is, I implore you to copy the link and send this to them. Shoot them a text or an email, or share this on the social media platform that you're on now. I'd really appreciate that. It would give me an opportunity to spread this message further and wider. And if I can help you more, then feel free to go to nathen.tv. That's nathen.tv. I have online courses, I have coaching opportunities, things of that nature, whether it be paid or free. I want to do whatever I can to help you live your best life. And additionally, if you want your own free consultation, I give them out from time to time. Feel free to text me. My phone number is 310-807-1998, and I'll prompt you with what to do from there. So until next time, stay abundant, stay happy, stay motivated, stay driven, stay focused, and all the other beautiful things. Life is beautiful. No regrets on our deathbed. Chat soon. Thanks.